grab your tea, or in my case, I don't even know if I can say anymore because it's 11 p.m., a Red Bull, okay? It's Yappy tea time. And you're going to be like, Patricia, why the fuck are we so far away? Because today I'm going to talk about my books. So all my book girlies, get ready, Daisy! Get ready, Daisy! Oh my God. Anyways, I want to talk about my experience with reading, what got me into reading, all of this stuff. And all of the books on here, there's a few that I've just bought recently, but all of these are mainly all of my forever keeps. When we moved here, I downsized so much. I have lots of rocks. I have lots of jewelry. I have lots of vinyls. I have lots of books. I have lots of things, and I need space for them. And then books were not my hyperfixation at the time, so, But I think I wanted to also just keep my forever keeps, utilize my library more, or my Kindle. So first of all, look at my babies. Reading, oh my God. Okay. There's so many things I can go into about reading, and I'm so fucking excited, because it's changed my life. What? Word. What'd she say that to? Oh, okay. Anyways. So what year was it? 2021? 2022? I don't remember the year, but when I was a stay-at-home mom with Ricky when he was younger, / also Wesley, because Wesley was alive during this at the same time. So it was during both. Reading was my only form of friendship, if I'm being completely fucking honest. Nick was working. I was a stay-at-home mom. And I mean, I really had no friends. I feel like I think I need to do a podcast episode on friendships. And if any of my past friends see it, I mean, that's how I feel. That's my experience. And I'm right for my feelings. You're right for your feelings. But I'm allowed to talk about it. I think it'd be important because I've had some crazy fucking experiences with friendship, okay? And I've always wanted, especially growing up, to have that best friend forever. But for some reason, it's just not in the cards for me, I don't think. Like, even as an adult, the people who I'm like, oh, they're going to be it. A year later, I'm like, where'd you go? What did I do? But it's like, I don't do anything. Like I don't change in any way. Anyways, Daisy! I'm trying to be famous! You're gonna wake up my fucking kids. Anyways, we don't need to go into friendships right now, but it was my form of friendships and my outlet. Reading was my outlet. I was reading 1, if not 2 books a night. In a 3-month period of time, I read over 100 books. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. It was like 2.5 months, 3-ish. Anyways, so I used to read a lot, especially in middle school, because I was getting heavily bullied, and it was an outlet. It was my only form of friendship. Like I've said, it's really been something where when I in my life am feeling so alone, these books help me not feel so. I'm gonna cry. Oh my God, I'm getting emotional about paper. And for me with reading, I see it in my head and I live it, and it's a way to get out of my life and live a new and experience a new different life while still also not leaving my life. And so like there was times where I was like ready. I was so ready. The fuck was that? But then I would pick up a book, and I actually have a book over here. You will be able to see how old it is. Oh God. I'm just going to grab them all. Oh God, something's going to fall. It's like yellow. And these, I've had this one. So I've had these 2 since forever. I actually got these from Half Price Books. I've had this one since, oh God. Oh my God, I didn't even know. I think I was in middle school. I don't even remember what year it was written. But anyways, these are a book that I read heavily when I needed to. I should reread them again, actually, because yeah. And so reading has been so important to me. And then as I went into high school and started playing sports more and doing all this, I lost it. And then, I moved into Italy and I was working, and then I had a baby, and So like, I just kind of like lost it for a little while. And then I remember I ended up on Akatar TikTok for a while. My favorite. But I was really, really depressed and feeling not necessarily like as alone as I have in the past, because I've had my husband, I have my kids, I have my parents and stuff, but it was more so like I had one friend at the time, but she was in a different state, and then that friendship was hard for so many different reasons. And also she is someone who, unfortunately, if she wants to use that word, I'll use it too, is a family member of mine. Well, not even of mine, actually, of my husband's. She's a family member of my husband's, and even though she said it was unfortunate that he's a family member. Anyways, I don't need to get into that, even though maybe someday I'll give you all the details, because why fucking not? But it was toxic in many different ways, and then it was one of those where I feel like I was giving my all to that friendship for, like, really not much back, or like, it's like I'm dealing with this, I need help, and I'm trying to help, and then it's like, you're not listening to my help. So anyways, I was just like, I need something because I'm alone and sad and want to do something than just be a mom and alone and sad, and Nick was working, providing, and so he's like doing all this, and so we get time together, but then as you're married, I don't need to, so I was seeing things on the internet about It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. And I was like, you know what? I think that will just be easy peasy to kind of get me back into it. And it was the first book after a long time that kind of just pushed me back into it. So then I actually read all of Colleen Hoover's books, except for, is it Slammed? And maybe one other book. And there's only 2 books I still have of hers that are keeping forevers, and actually one of her books isn't the reason I have the tattoo, but it inspired it, because I was like, wait, that's kind of cool. So yeah, I read It Ends With Us, and then I read whatever next, and then whatever next, and then whatever next, and then actually Halsey has a song, what's it fucking called? What's it fucking called? Hold on, oh my god, because so she has that book, Not Losing Hope. No, not that one. Or whatever that one is. It's that, okay, hold on. Hold on, Halsey, because I fucking love Halsey. It's called, where'd it fucking go? So good. Oh my god, that song is so good. And it makes me think of, hold on, Colleen Hoover books. It's Confess was really good. Maybe Someday. For some reason, so good, and Maybe Someday, they make sense to me. I felt like that song really was like, because like the whole, anyways. So, we'll start talking about these books. So I read all of her books. One book I really loved, and this is actually what kind of stepped my toes a little bit, just a little bit, not much, because Does It Hurt was stepped my feet a little bit into some darker romance. I was like, I kind of like that a little bit more than your little realistic things that are pissing me off. Okay, what was it called? Not Regretting You. That one was all right. And I am going to see the movie. Fucking All Your Perfects, was that it? Maybe that was it. Layla was really good. I actually really liked Layla. Hopeless. That was a good one. Okay. Okay. I haven't read Point of Retreat or those. Okay. So anyways, Woman Down. Oh, that's a new one. Okay. I was like, I don't read that. Ugly Love. Actually, I was like, you could have done something there. But I think it was All Your Perfects, the one with the baby stuff. That shit was pissing me off. I was like, you're making me so fucking mad. I was literally in the car with Nick. We were getting Little Caesars, and I brought my book with me, and I'm like, this shit's making me fucking mad. And I'm like explaining him the whole this thing, and he's like, oh god. And I'm like, okay. Some of her books really did make me mad because of how realistic they were, but also fucking, why are your characters stupid? But anyways, these 2 books I think are my favorites out of all of hers. First is Too Late. This cover is not available, and this version is not available. I think this one is self-published. She just came out with it, and I think it was a little bit more edited down. If my memory serves me correctly, if I'm wrong, let me know, just because it's been a while. But this, I was like, ooh, undercover cop kind of moments with the, yeah, I love a good undercover cop moment, and you're going to learn that real quick with the fucking Mindfuck series, okay? And then the next one is Heartbones. This one, just for some reason, hit a spot in my heart. Like, I was like, oh. But then, first of all, this cover is also not available. I have this tattoo, and it's an anatomical heart made out of bones. And so I was like reading this, and one, I genuinely just enjoyed, I enjoyed it. I really did. And it's not like the greatest fucking literature ever, but I enjoyed it. But I was like, you know what would be really cool is literally making a anatomical heart out of bones. So I went to my old tattoo artist, and I was like, do it. And he fucking did. Can you guys see that? Am I showing it? And then I have this tattoo because not only do I read fucking shit, and I love a good choke moment. Reading fucking consumes me. And like, I'm just so consumed in my book, I feel like I'm being pulled into it. So that's why I have that. So these are the, like, Colleen Hoover did get me back into it, but like, first of all, we don't need to talk about the movie. It ends with us. If the casting and directing was completely different fucking people, and I'm sorry, I don't care if the ages were unrealistic. Keep it unrealistic. It would have been much better. Okay. And then, all right. So after Colleen Hoover, what did I read after her? I feel like I read so many different things, okay? But one of my favorites, and now listen, y'all better watch yourselves, because if you come from a girl, and this is another crazy, like, yeah, okay. So, you know what? See, now I'm going to have to remove, oh my God, I'm getting so excited. I want to talk about every single book. Okay, I have 6 different versions of the book Gothicana by Runix. I have Enigma by Runix, and I also have the whole entire, what's it called? It's the Predator, Reaper, Emperor, Finisher, like, Runix. What the fuck is that series called? Okay, that's gonna piss me off. Why can I not remember it? Dark Verse, yes. I have, Sophie Lark's another good one, but I don't have all of her books, but her books were fun. Runix, Gothicana, if I ever convince you to read it's Dark Academia. Where is my tarot cards over there? And in her special edition box, I actually have my adoption papers in case I need to prove anything to anyone, because I'm a petty bitch. So it's in my workroom. But this is, move bitches. And you guys wonder why I don't organize things. This is why. Okay, let's grab 1. Oh, Vlad. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, and then, excuse me. Okay, I got it from Half Price Books. This print no longer available. A lot of these are obviously limited edition stuff. So it's Corvina and Vlad. He's a professor. She does tarot. She has this intuition. It's a Dark Academia. She's in like a school castle. Like, this shit was so good. This is one of, and the playlist. I played the playlist on my TV. It's Washington weather. It's rainy and cloudy. The vibes were fucking vibing. Okay. So hands down, this is on my top 3 books. She came out with a special edition book box thingy. And so it was doing it this day at this time, and there's only like 100 boxes available. So very limited. And I set my alarm. And when it went off and I went to order it, I realized I was an hour late because of time zones. I genuinely was upset. I was so upset. Also, you'll see if you go on my Patricia.Braham backup TikTok, I was in my book era. You go scroll back, you'll find it. And then like a week later, she came out saying that she actually had 10 left because of whatever fucking reason. And I got one of them. It smelled so good. I have I have everything still, and it came with a special edition, which was Was it this one or that one? Fuck. I think it was this one that came in it. And it has Vlad and Corvina on the top. Anyways, I'm going to spend 4 hours on this. I really like this book. But I don't know. It's just so good. And then the Dark Verse series. I think The Predator is my favorite. All of them are just so good for so many different reasons. And the way you connect with all the characters, like genuinely, she's one of my favorite authors. I haven't checked up on her actually on Instagram in a while because I've been so busy. So I really should do that. This sprayed edges fucking get me. This is like, oh, it's just so cool. So when I kept seeing all these different editions, I was like, girly, I like literally need all of those. Anyways, so those books, she's just amazing. This the vibes. This has like motorcycle, like dark, like, I should reread these so bad. So bad. Okay, Songbird and the Heart and Stone. I need to, are those the same fucking book? Do I have two of the same? Oh, that's why. I was like, what? That means I don't need this one. Because I have the signed edition. Why do I have this? You know, I think I probably confused this with the Ashes and the Star Curse. Yeah. That's probably what happened. Oh, does that mean I get relaxed? Fuck. Anyways, these vampire Hunger Games is what I want to call it. So good. So good. I feel like I'm a romantasy girl through and through. Okay, a lot of this, Caitlin Taylor, also I met her and we're friends. Love. One Night Seduction. I still need to read a lot of these. I have a gothic parenting book, love. Okay, we're just gonna go through this. Oh! See, I'm getting ahead of myself because this, y'all gonna have to wait for a second. Just wait. I will get to that. Okay, down here. I'm going to take it off. Bear with me, okay? Oh my God. Okay. Let me make sure I keep them. Ow! My fucking fingernail just bent. Ow. Okay. The Devil's Night series. First of all, reading this during Halloween, peak. I read it on Halloween for this specific reason, okay? Devil's Night. If you know, you know. Penelope Douglas, first of all, writes some phenomenal fucking books. But this series, I resonate with Will the most. I feel, for me, Will was the saddest, but then showing the happiest, funniest, goofy, like hiding, pushing that down by trying to be like the like goofy one. I feel like I've done that so much in my life. I really resonated with that. Erica, I think she's the most iconic female. And I'm like, okay, you and me, absolutely. These books are so good. I think just reckless teenage adult, like dark romance shit. Like it's so, there's so much into it besides that. Like it gets fucking deep. And oh my God, they all just go through so much. I could just cry. It's one of my favorite series. These are a forever keep. I have a sweatshirt for it. I've wanted to get Be Lilith, Never Eve on my chest. And just because I'm trying not to give spoilers, but if I ever convince you to read any sort of books, let it be any of these ones I'm talking about and showing you right now, because these are it. Like, that's it. Once again, I need to do a reread, but these are so good. And the way everything and everyone kind of comes together and then finally has someone, I'm like, I could just hug you all. But Erica, man, they put her through shit. You know, motherfuckers better watch out. If I ever find you, like, get it together. Okay? Okay. And then, okay, if I can get these back in here. Go, go, go. Go, 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 go. And I know people talk about Kill Switch. I get it. I get the appeal. But for me, it's Will, because that's the guy I resonate with the most. And I feel like Erica's the girl I resonate with the most. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 1, 2, 3 fourth wings, or is it 2 fourth wings and 2 iron flames? Okay, well, goddamn, now I need to move all this shit. Okay. What is this one? This one also iron flame? No, 3 fourth wing, just 1 iron flame. And then 3 onyx storm, is that really it? I haven't even read that one. 4th wing. First of all, okay, I gotta sit down for this. Everyone take a sip for a second. Because when I tell you this shit, I was like, I think I need a beer. And I'm like, I don't drink beer. I read 4th wing. And 4th wing, it's fantasy with romance. It's not necessarily romantic. Well, a little bit. Yeah, it probably does. Cause yeah. But anyways, listen, I'm over here and I'm like kicking my feet, giggling, you know, do my thing. And I love me a good I've read just pure like, you know. So when I'm thinking about what I read and then I find out that my mom is reading 4th wing, I'm like, oh, girly pop, you know, I know you read. But I was like, do you sometimes read? And she was like, yeah. And so I'm like, first of all, I'm talking to my mom about smut. That's crazy. It's so funny because she's like, it's so weird though, because sometimes I'm like, do they not just like feel gross after the things? Because then they'll just be like, then they went to bed and then the next day. She's like, listen, I know it's a book, but sometimes just hearing that they showered is kind of, and I'm like, that's funny as fuck, because true. But also, so she's read 4th wing, whatever. I'm like, okay, you know. My grandpa! My papa read 4th wing. I looked at him and I was like, you read 4th wing? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, you know, he reads mainly like fantasy. And I was like, it's okay. You know, most of the time fantasy, I feel like occasionally there. His is more like fantasy. He does not really like the romance part, you know? But I was like, we're talking about 4th wing and I'm sorry, but sometimes when I'm thinking about 4th wing, I'm thinking about Zayden. I was like, no, my mom and my grandfather are reading the same book right now. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, I'm sure he probably just skips through those parts. I think he mentioned it. But I was like, oh my God, Papa, are you like nasty? What? I was like, okay, like, you know, obviously there's more to 4th wing. There is a lot more. There's so much more. But it's just like one of those things where it's just like, oh my God, I'm an adult now. We can like talk about adult things. And this is weird because I feel like I'm still a kid. I have not read Onyx Storm yet though. I think I'm going to wait, even though I'm trying to avoid spoilers, till the series is finished. Because I'm sorry, after reading Iron Flame and sitting there like, the fuck did you do? And then having to wait. I need to reread them, refresh my brain. And then I'm like, do I want to keep doing that? Because it takes so long. So I think for me, one, they should make it a TV show. I'm going to wait to read the rest of it. Hi, Frank. Hey, Frankie, Pinky, Wanky. Skanky, Frankie. What are you doing? I thought he got out earlier and I was so scared because I couldn't find him. He's buried in Ricky's blankets in his room. Do you want to sit? Here. Come do your podcast. Okay, fine. Anyways, 4th wing is phenomenal. I want a dragon tattoo. I want so many tattoos, especially for books, because the outlet, like I've said. Oh my God, I didn't even finish that. I started crying. Let me finish this bookshelf. We'll go into another spiel and then we'll finish this bookshelf. Okay. Down here actually are a lot of books I still need to read as well. 2 Twisted Crowns and 1 Dark Window. I know that those books are phenomenal. Trust me, I've read the reviews. I've seen people talk about it. I need to fucking sit down and read them. And then I just have rocks because, like I said, like those, I have special editions of them too. And then I kept the normal editions. And then, what is that? Oh yeah, that's Ninth House and Hellbent. Yeah, okay. So yeah. And then we have The Butcher and Blackbird, which I also, is this a signed one? No. I got that at a book thing I went with my aunt. We'd be going to these book conventions and it's the greatest. Chantal Tessier. I read all of her books on Kindle. And I saw her. Pause! Oh my, is my mic still? That's funny as fuck. Okay. I feel like my feet are slapping like Wesley's were late. When Wesley's feet were slapping, I'm like running. I'm filming right now too. Okay. I went to the Rain City book event and with my aunt. That's where I met Caitlin Taylor, and that's where I got my bejeweled with red. That shit was crazy. I filmed it. But I read all of. Pause. I read all of Chantal Tessier's books on Kindle. I am a riot girly through and through. I need to reread everything at this fucking point. And I stood in her line. All of her books were already pretty much pre-sold out. She had none left. I was so sad because I wanted to get all of her books there because they were new. Yeah. And then to obviously get her to sign them. But they were all sold out. They didn't. I was like, fuck. If I would have known to pre-order these, I'm bad at knowing this stuff. So what did I do? I had her sign my name tag. So I got something signed, but she is phenomenal at dark romance though. So first of all, I want all the trigger warnings. I'm sorry. There's some of the books I've read aren't even, I've read some horror books, so not even like smut, romance, none of that. There was this one, what the fuck was it called? I was talking about this a while ago. Hold on. Horror book, man, side of the road, gets in car with mom, sister, son, tortures them. No one rides for free. Is that one it? Yes. No one rides for free. I'm sorry. You guys like how that shit was in fucking insane. I want to make sure that it is that one. Hold on. Yes. It's honestly just nasty fucking gore. Like I was reading that, like it's like literally 100 and some pages. And I'm like sitting next to Nick and I'm like, oh my fucking God. And he's like, why are you reading that? And I'm like, I'm curious because people were talking about it on the internet. So also trigger warnings, I've got none. Don't worry. I'll be sitting there like, what the fuck sometimes. That book was just nuts. You like be careful reading that. It's just disgusting. Like it was not entertaining. Let me say that. It was not entertaining. It was like how does someone come up with this shit? And like yuck. Big yuck. Anyways, but for like dark romance, all of that, the more trigger warnings, the better. And I think it's just a way of also healing certain traumas I have. And then there's a lot more to it. And if dark romance isn't your thing, that's all right. But just letting you know, with Chantal Tessier, read your trigger warnings, by the way. Do read them. Do your research, read the warning, because if it is too much for you, that's not healthy. It's not for you. It's not for everyone. Like, so just be careful. Like I said, really no trigger warnings. I can read whatever. And, so just take care of yourself is what I want to say. And she'll say that in the front of her books, all of that jazz. So I went through this bookshelf. I'm going to go through this bookshelf in a second, but this bookshelf I feel like is going to be a little bit more emotional for me, especially because when I was reading these, it was also during a part of my life when my dad got diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and a couple other, it was really bad. It was like one of the ones that is like, yeah, if you got one, you didn't want this one and you got the one you didn't want, and that was one of the hardest times in my life because also I finally found like a friend group, right? And of course I befriended the most toxic bitch. And yeah, I said that. There's only a few people I will never like be cool with. And this bitch is one of them. And yeah, I'll say that. I don't give a fuck. And so not only is my dad pretty much on his fucking deathbed, literally, by the way, I'm now in this horrible toxic friendship, but I want a friendship so bad because for the longest I had no friends. Granted, I did meet Aaliyah and Jenna through it, so I did get some good friends. But I wasn't closer with them until I finally was able to like get rid and free myself. And she also freed herself of me. Okay. Also, if she's ever watching this, I'm going to make this really fucking clear. We both somehow mutually, but not together, made the decision just like the same fucking day. We never ever really talked again until she decided to just fucking come on my Facebook posts and harass me and then text me all this shit, and I blocked her mid. She's like typing and I said block. I love doing that. No, you don't even get the last word. Like, shut the fuck up. So reading was another outlet because now I have friends, but it's pretty toxic, and then I feel horrible and shitty about myself afterwards because I hear all these horrible things about myself that she tells me. But I really want these friends because I also am having fun, because when we're like with a whole group, it's really fun for the most part because we do this fun thing, but then it doesn't get fun because then we do this, but then this, and then she's mad at me for this, and then that. But then also my dad's fucking dying. One of my, Nick's my person, but my dad's also my person. And I'm not kidding you. This is going to be a tangent because I remember this night was so important for me. I was at one of our friends' birthdays, at a birthday dinner. Not only was another ex-best friend in high school of mine there, who also bullied me. I told my friend at that time about the bullying I received. She thought it was funny. And then the first thing that friend brings up when we see each other again after years is how she bullied me. Not really fun. So we're at this birthday party. I'm trying to have fun, whatever. My mom calls me. I'm going to fucking answer it when my mom calls me. And they knew that. And I was already having a hard day. I'm not going to lie. I didn't want to go, not because I didn't want to be there for my other friend's birthday, but I didn't want to go because I was having a hard time, because I was like, I feel so shitty when I hang out with this friend and I don't know what to do. And I'm tired of like hating myself after we hang out every time. And my mom calls me, and it was a night where, oh, I'm going to cry. She was telling me that, especially with the chemo and his cancer, he was having a lot of neurological problems, and it was coming to the point where they weren't sure if he was going to remember certain things or certain people about his life, or even possibly remember how to like write. And I'm shaking talking about it because it makes me really sad to think about my dad. And so that night, like, I got that call. And I'm like, oh, great, cool. So now this, and then I'm dealing with this, and now I'm here with these two people that have made me feel absolutely like horrible about myself. Now I have to go back in there and leave. So I go in there and I'm like, hey guys, I am really sorry. And of course you can tell I'm crying. And I'm like, I'm not meaning to make this like, this is not about me. This is, I want you to have a good birthday party, but I've gotta go. But I wanted to show up for my friend. And months later, I'm not even friends with that girl anymore. Months later, the other friend whose birthday party it was, and if she's seeing this, hey, I am talking about it, told me that night, that friend I had told her and everyone at the table that I was lying and faking, all because I didn't want to go to her birthday. First of all, we were going out like 2 to 3 times a week as mothers that were also working. I was a breastfeeding counselor at the time. And my dad was dying. And you're going to tell someone. And then I said, well, what did you say back? And this is actually, she probably doesn't even know this. So if you're seeing this, hey, she's like, nothing. I knew she was lying. So she just made a horrible lie up. You've known me since 9th grade, by the way. And you said nothing. You should have said, bitch, shut your fucking mouth. You're telling me and my dad were faking him having cancer all because I didn't want to go to a birthday dinner. That's bullshit. I still fucking should. I'm going to get mad. So that night, I remember I went home and, what book was it? I think it might have been on my Kindle, and I can't even remember the name, but I went home and I read a book. And you know what? Where is it? Do I not have it anymore? It was by a thread. Oh my God. I should still have that book. Anyways, I went home and I was like, I need the biggest escape. And I was like, I don't even want dark romance. I want the easiest rom-com, like literally make me cackle and laugh and giggle and get like, whatever. So I love just like lore dropping. It cracks me up. And I also, not gonna lie, one of the friendships I would love to talk about is that friendship. Not because I care to whatever, I don't care if she sees it or not, I really do not give a fuck. But because I feel like sometimes I'm still processing things, because sometimes I'm like triggered, I'm like, wait a second. Or I think about like these things. So yeah, I went home and I freaking lost it to Nick, of course. And then I grabbed By a Thread, which I loved the cover of that book. It was pink, it had the dress and the hanger. So Lucy Score, I do have her down there. I don't know why I don't have that on my bookshelf. Where the fuck did it? I'm genuinely confused. I know for a fact I did not purposely get rid of that, so it must have accidentally ended up in a pile it shouldn't have. I'm like, is it over here? And it genuinely, for about an hour, maybe a little bit longer, I forgot about all of that going on. It was the most perfect rom-com. So when I tell people to read By a Thread, this is why. If you need just... I was giggling. And Nick was like, are you okay? He thinks I'm having like a psychotic moment. And I'm like, the book. And he's like, are you okay though? And I'm like, am I? And then he's like, no, just keep reading. And then like, I like went in and was telling him about the book and laughing. And he was like looking at me. And I was like, God damn it, Nicholas, you're looking at me. And now I remember all these things that are making me sad and depressed. Anyways, so By a Thread by Lucy Score that night was, I'm gonna cry again. And it's not, I'm not crying because of like that bitch. And yeah, I'm crying just because of the time and the just like the connection I had and the way I needed that in that moment. And it gave me that what I needed to just for a second not feel and focus on these just awful things that are happening. Especially as thinking about when my dad was sick is a really hard time, not just because of that friendship, but because it's my fucking dad. It was my dad, you guys. And obviously we know I'm adopted and I have my own little like mommy daddy abandonment trauma issues. My dad and my mom are literally two of my people. So especially like me and my dad have so many different connections with like rocks and even our traumas and our anxieties and stuff. So me, like, it's not like I'm closer to one or the other, but I have my mom for things and then my dad for things. And so either way, losing one of them, I cannot. I need to stop thinking about that. I'm about to see them and I'm about to call them. I'm shaking. Just thinking about my dad is such a hard time in my life, but reading a lot of these books, especially on this shelf, was a great release from all of that, regardless of the friendship things I had going on or not. And also, if you want proof he was sick, just look at the fucking pictures. Okay, him and Wesley were bald babies that couldn't walk. Like, they waddled the same. They were twins. But you can just see the difference. You can, I mean, it's so fucking clear. You're just an awful person who wants attention for whatever fucking reason. So anyways, enough about that because that podcast, this is not about that. We're just, so if you want to get into Lucy Score, I have a Claire Kingsley book right there. And then actually Opals and Nimbus is from a TikTok bestie. It's, what's her name? Nander. I love her. Her sister actually introduced us together and then she sent me some of her books, which is super cool. So I'm still excited to read those. Obsession Falls by Claire Kingsley. So Claire Kingsley and Lucy Score are like BFFs. Love. I went to, when I got, no, not that one. It's the other one I have that I cannot, where the fuck did that go? Because I have my aunt's copy. There's got to be in my garage somewhere. Anyways, and I've heard these are getting a movie. I've seen Lucy Score and Claire Kingsley. I saw Claire Kingsley twice, but I've seen Lucy Score once, but it was with Claire Kingsley. You get the name. And they were like doing a little like panel thing. It was really, really cool. And it was with my Aunt Debbie, love. But the Knock 'em Out books, first of all, look at how gorgeous these are. Small town romance. I think my favorite one was... Is this Things We Hide from the Light? I think it's this one. Let me just double. I got these from Half Price Books. This is the one with the childhood Nash. I think. What's the one? No, I don't think it's this one. I think it's, hold on, did I put these in the wrong order? It's also been a while. Okay, I think it's Things We Left Behind, because they were like, yes. So Sloane and Lucian, that was it. If the childhood best friend ones, childhood lovers to break up to like, because his dad and then she reported and like all this stuff. Anyways, I think that one's my favorite one. But these are so fucking good. Small town romance, love it. Best friends, like it was the enemies to lovers, like childhood friends to enemies to lovers. Like I think that's the Things We Left Behind one. That one was so good. All of these are just so good. So anyways, but like I said, By a Thread, not only just a great rom-com, it one night was a book that like saved me from just like probably self-harming, not gonna lie. I'm not gonna myself, but you know. You want to say hi to my podcast? I'm talking about books. There's the husband that was there to witness. Not these. Oh, Frank, what do you have to say? Anyways, he's been the ear of, he talks to me about his games, so I get to talk to him about my books or whatever. And he witnessed my dad having cancer, okay? Anyways, love. And then I'm going to talk last about this and this. And that. For obvious reasons. Okay. And that. Okay. Okay. And then on here we have, the Twisted series by Anna Huang. I think Twisted Games was one of my favorites. Or Twisted Hate. Twisted Hate. No. Yeah, Twisted Hate, not Twisted Games. My bad. That one was so good. I know people hated that one. Stop looking at me. I'm getting nervous. You can come give me a kiss? Love you. You were drinking the same Red Bull. It's meant to be. It's so good. Daisy's being so cute on the couch. Anyways, so Twisted Hate I think is my favorite out of all of these. But also, I think Twisted Hate, Twisted Love, Twisted Games, and then I already forget the last one because it's not like it was bad. But anyways, I only have this one because it's signed. Not me opening it up to where it's not even... I'm not a liar! Now you guys are going to say I'm lying about the book being signed. See, that's funny. Anyways, Twisted Hate, I'm sorry. When they like enter that doorway and he like, I need to stop. Okay, now this was a dark romance that I was like, ooh, this is like a lot. I still read it though. Still Beating. That shit was fucking crazy. I don't even know how to explain this book without giving away spoilers. Sisters, fiance, enemy, turned kidnapped together, trauma, to then trauma bonded lovers, to then lovers. I think it's the best way to explain it. My God. That's it. I don't know. Read your trigger warnings. That shit was good. It's good. And if you're okay with like rape. I'm just saying. I think that's the only thing I'm going to say just because I know that can be very triggering because I was sitting there like, oh, and I oop. Okay. And then I talked about those. There's a couple right here that I haven't read yet. These I got from the Rain City. It's Rotten Fruit by D.W. Cole and the Marley Diaries and the Gia Diaries by Vanessa Cooper. The Bone Crier's Moon and Bone Crier's Dawn. I still need to read these, but just... They look so good. They look so good. And then when I read the back, I was like, absolutely. I used to spend my time in Barnes & Noble. I have not been to a Barnes & Noble since last year. It's also March, by the way. And actually, I haven't been to a Barnes & Noble probably in over 6 months. And that's because I got so busy. We had Halloween, and like all of that. So, okay. And then Cakewalk. Okay, I got this one only because what is my husband doing on the front of this book? Also, in any book I read, me and my husband are the main characters. Absolutely. So yeah, I was like, what is my husband doing on there? And I love me some cake. So that's why I bought it. Literally, I told the author, she was there, and I was like, this is why I'm buying it. All right, I talked about the Shiver series, which I just need to reread. Okay, ACOTAR, we're going to get back to that. Don't worry. Damn, see, this is where I can't pick top like 3 things, because then there's that series, and then that series. Just read all these books. That's fucking it. Okay. If you scroll back on Patricia.Braham backup account, there's a video of me bawling my eyes out to this, and I straight up cried for a couple hours. And every time I think about this, I get emotional. We love rainy days, don't we, baby? I'm sorry. If there's one thing I could ever change in my life, it's that shit. If you know, you know. I have... Aaliyah has it. She still has my sweatshirt. I'll have to get that back from her next week. I have the We Love Rainy Days, Don't We Babies with all the ravens. I'm sorry. I actually was mad reading these books after that, and it took me a while to accept what was happening. The Ravenhood series. I cannot read One Rainy Day. I think that's what it's called. I can't. I'm not kidding you. Even thinking about it, like, I can't. I genuinely reading his... I cannot begin to tell you the emotional state I would be in after reading that. But let me tell you, you guys should read it. I just want you guys to have the amount of emotional damage as I do. The Ravenhood series, man. I mean... Holy shit, I should do a reread, but this is one where like it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. Dom, my boy. I think there's only one book I've ever felt like that like ending was wrong, and this may be a little bit of a spoiler, but you don't know how. That's it. I am a Dom girly. And that's fucking it. Okay. And then we're going to get into my girl. Listen, I love her. She just had a baby. And if y'all have a fucking issue, keep it to your fucking self. If I see anyone in my comments talking bad about her, if you don't know, there's been some shit. And she just had a baby. If you don't like dark romance, you don't have to like dark romance. But leave my girl alone. First of all, okay, for Haunting and Hunting Adeline, I have this rose, and it's also made out of the book. Next to it, if you know, you know. But we're going to put her down there for a second because I'm going to grab all of these. And I believe these are all of H.D. Carlton's books. If they're not, then I'm fucking slacking, and that's a problem. H.D. Carlton. At first I read Does It Hurt? Oh, no, it feels good. Oh my God. That was the first time I've read a dark romance mixed with thriller, mixed with suspense, mixed with some like horror. I was like, oh my God. I'm sorry, but Over the Boat into the Shark Infested Waters is crazy. So good. I actually had the other cover for a while, but I really liked how this one looked. So read that, and then I wanted to get into Haunting and Hunting Adeline, but this is where I get too into books, and then I do all my research to make sure. If you read Haunting and Hunting Adeline, you should read Satan's Affair first. And first of all, if y'all know Hawk hates you, I will always brag that we're mutuals because people tell us we look alike, and I'm like, yeah. I've looked up to her since she used to show her daughter. Like, I followed her for a very long time. And I'm going to say it again. On my backup account before it was hacked, the day before I got hacked, I saw we were mutuals, and I was like, oh my God. Then I got hacked. And then we refound each other, obviously. Excuse me. And now we're mutuals on both accounts. And when I was getting like harassed by those girls, she messaged me on Instagram one time and she's like, man, fuck those guys. And I was like, period. And I was cured. Period. I love her. I love that she's so authentically herself, and she's always been open and honest and outspoken and just kind of like a, and fuck you, you know, I love that. So obviously she's done some Sibby looks, and I want to do a couple Sibby looks, but I'm like, I feel like I can't do it good enough. Like, she just is so perfect, but I feel like I'd also do pretty good. I'm like, maybe we could be like Sibby twins, right? I don't know. Anyways, Sibby. So Satan's Affair. This follows Sibby, who shows up in Hunting Adeline. She's fucking iconic. But what got me is, because I'm sitting here like, girl, how does that even work? Is the twist. I was like, oh, hell yeah. And so then it makes it even funnier when you read this, the second book. I'm like, oh, I fucking love it. She's iconic. I love it. I feel like when I've even done my Harley Quinn look, I was like, it's kind of giving Sibby. Oh, I love it. So if you want to read these, read Satan's Affair first. It's such an easy, fun read, but also really cool. You get some Zayd in it, of course. And then it's funny when these like interconnect as well. Like even in the first, actually no, you see her in the first one, but like she's more into the second one. But like, anyways, it's fun to see like, oh wait, those connect. Like that's cool as fuck, you know? And she's an icon. Like I love her. Okay, maybe I will do a Sibby look. We'll see. Haunting and Hunting Adeline, I know has a lot of hate. But if it's not for you, it's not for you. It's for me though. It's for me, not for you. And I feel like it's helped a lot of trauma survivors and, you know, things like that. And yeah, I love these books for so many reasons. And granted, sometimes I'm sitting here, if that happened to me in real life, absolutely not. Who the fuck do you think you are? But reading about it for me is fine, okay? Okay, so these I love. I should reread them again just because they're really good, and you can just feel the way she's able to explain these emotions, and like you feel like you're going through that low key. Like it's so good. Her writing is phenomenal. Where's Molly? I think is not necessarily a spin-off, but it does have connections to these two. Also phenomenal. Shallow River, I actually know that this is a book that it's not like, is it that she hates it? I don't think it's that she hates it, but it was written out of a dark place, out of things that she's been through. So I think it's hard for her to talk about it and read it and like, you know, all of that, just because it can be triggering for her. But especially if you struggle with like domestic violence and things like that, this can be a really good or a really bad book. I think it just depends on who you are and how you would take it. I think it could help you, and also you would resonate with it, like a lot of stuff like that, just depending on, you know, obviously what you went through. But read your trigger warnings and be careful, because it could go either way. And for me, I was just like, okay, like I haven't been through like this kind of domestic violence. I'm very fortunate that my husband is who he is. I've been through my own different things with men in the past, like boyfriends and stuff. But it could go either way. But if you feel like it could help you process and get through and feel less alone in something like that, maybe it's a good read. But just like be careful, because it is, you know, dark. And then now we're back to Does It Hurt? Oh, and Phantom. Ooh, I did read this. My brain is all fried because I'm like, did I read it? Oh my God, have I not read it yet? I actually don't know if I read this yet. I think she came out with it and then my mother-in-law died. Yeah. Was this in 2025? Why did I cover it? No. I think that is what it is. Yeah. So I still need to read that, actually, now that I think about it. But I love H.D. Carlton. I think her writing is amazing, and I like the stories that she comes up with. I think Does It Hurt is one of my favorites. I think that story is just phenomenal. But just like I said, be careful and read your trigger warnings. I had to look things up occasionally. Oh my God, everything's falling. Everything's falling and nothing's going on the bookshelf. And then the book fell. Okay, hold on, guys. Okay, bear with me. And then there's also so many books I've read on Kindle, but, you know. Oh, meow. You want to say something? Meow, meow. No. He's like, get the fuck out of my face. Frank. Meow. You want to say anything? Oops. Hebog? Oh, he's a good boy. Hold on. Okay. Anyways, I feel like I go through phases with books and Kindle, but like I said, I used to have so many fucking books. Like they were stacked on the floor, but when we moved, I was like, I need to utilize my Kindle more, the library, swapping books with people, all of that, because I'm not going to have room for it, unfortunately. And then I'm like, okay, but I also want things on my walls. And then just, yeah, and I love how this looks. I think this is I'm very happy with this space because I also will sit here and read, sometimes in Bertha's lap because I don't want to I wasn't saying to move. Anyways, okay. I think, you know how I said there's like a number one with like Gothicana being my top third? I think Gothicana is second, and I think the Mindfuck series is first. Maybe SWAT. No. See, those are almost tied for like my top books, just singular, not series, because I don't think I could ever pick a series. But also Buy a Thread. So these, okay, Buy a Thread, Mindfuck series, and granted, these are like books 1 through 5, but like also no. And Gothicana, I think are my like number one like standalones. It's hard. It's hard, but I think so. So the Mindfuck series, it's actually 5 books, but it's all in one. This is not available anymore. The author was killed by her husband because they, I think, were both domestically violent to each other, which is crazy because of what this book is about. Serial killer girl, rightfully so serial killer. Let me just say that real quick. FBI agent boy. He's trying to find the serial killer who she is, and they're in love. But let me just say, she is so, I mean, oh, I need to sit down. Dude, this book is just so, Lana, I don't know. Anyways, I don't want to give any spoilers, but man, she has been put through some shit. And the people that put her through some shit think she's dead. And then she comes back and fucking, like, literally kills them all. So she's a serial killer, rightfully so, like I said. Okay? She's not just doing it to random people. These people fucking deserve it. Okay? And they're trying to find her. And then, oh my god, the ending. It's phenomenal. Like, this is, I could go on about this book, but I'm trying really hard to not give any spoilers just in case. But like, I made my old coworker read it. I have talked about, this book so many times. The nails in the apple are important for many reasons. The representation. Okay. Just know this is actually, I think, one of my top books because not only is it just so good, it's just so good. Like, the characters, the storytelling, the way these things like here and there and this and that, like, it's so good. And I still can't believe, I think, so they came out with a new thing. I think they're possibly doing a TV show as well. I do know like her family is now, they took this one away. They came out with a different one. There's a whole thing behind it. And so I feel really cool for having this like cover. It's so good. There's a bookmark. It's so fucking good. Like, it's so, I'm trying sort of figure out how to explain it more without giving away things, but just like, I mean, she knows he's an FBI agent too, but like, and then he finds out obviously, but like, ooh, it's also emotional. Like, I cried, and I would love to see this adapted. I would love to see a lot of these like adapted. However, I feel like the only person that could play the main characters is me. I'm kidding. Sort of. But I feel like I would hate to see so many things changed and taken out and just twisted or different, or, you know, I'm like, I wish that they would somehow be able to just keep it to the fucking books. Like, I'm sorry. Everything. Because sometimes I'm sitting here like, I want to see how that works. This is so good. Okay, now is the time. It's time. Sort of. I have the Wisteria, Foxglove, and Belladonna books up here. I actually have yet to read them, but I love their covers. I know that they're phenomenal books because I've talked with people about them. They've explained it to me. Like I said, there's still some books on here that I know are forever keeps that I am still needing to read. And I'm trying to get back into it. Okay. And then I'm going to tell you guys what happened. I'm going to be talking a lot. How long have I been here? Oh my God. This podcast is going to be a long one, but this is why I have a second phone now, because I can do this. I have so much content coming for you soon. Anyways, Sarah J. Maas, my girl. Okay, if you're going to read these books, and this is going to be a little bit hypocritical of me because I have not read Crescent City yet, but this is how I'm going to do my reread. You read ACOTAR. You read Crescent City, and then you're going to read Throne of Glass, but you're going to do the Assassin's Blade, Crown of Midnight, Air of Fire, Throne of Glass, Queen of Shadows. You're going to tandem read Tower of Dawn and Empire of Storms. There's a whole thing for the tandem read. You can look it up or I'll find it for you. And then obviously Kingdom of Ash. Okay. And then, yes. Okay. So those, ACOTAR, Throne of Glass, right? ACOTAR, Throne of Glass. Let me give you a fucking close up. Yellow. I have these special editions. Those are the boxes. And they are sprayed edges. They are absolutely stunning. The covers, even like under the oh, there's my Kindle. Yeah, bitch. There's schmut on there. I'm going to put you guys here now since you've seen most of it, and then we can get a little bit, actually I'm going to put you a little bit closer since you've seen those, and I can just yap about ACOTAR and Throne of Glass. I did a Manon look for my 31 Days of Halloween. Because I feel, obviously, Aylin is iconic in her own ways, and I'm like, ooh, I see some similarities. Manon, oh God, she's just a bad bitch, man. I love her. So, ACOTAR, it's Romantasy. It's, speaking of, my phone screen is Valaris, and it's been this since I got this phone, for years. It's not my kids. It's not my husband. It's Valaris. It is just so, I'm going to say so good. The way, fuck, I can't even begin to explain it. The character development is just insane. I mean, A Court of Silver Flames is just, and now she's coming out with 6. I mean, if you know, you know. If you don't, just, if, like I said, if I convince you to read like a series, like even like almost low-key interconnected, this is one of them for sure. I mean, we're talking Fae and wars, but it's, you know, obviously not in nowadays. It's way back, whatever. And then it's like going through, not realms, but like, you know, here's humans, Fae, this and that, new world. I mean, human turned Fae to, and then enemies to lovers. Cassian, my boy. Listen. Okay, we're gonna talk about this really quick. Elaine and Asriel. I mean, it has to be the 3 best friends and the 3 sisters. Duh. Okay, I'm a diehard for that. I think Lucian's gay, and you know what? Pop the fuck off. Maybe him and. Never mind. I can't take myself seriously. I want the bats. Like, my bat boys. I am so excited for this reread. And then Crescent City is actually more modernized, but it's really cool. And I know that there's some possible connection type things. So, like I said, I have yet to read them because I'll tell you why after I talk about Throne of Glass. So, okay. ACOTAR, love. I know I'm going to enjoy Crescent City, but Throne of Glass holds a special place in my heart because I feel I have been put, not through what Aylin's been put through. Let me, really quick, let me just, or Selena. Oh shit, did I just give a spoiler? Fuck. Oops. Just read the books. I feel though a connection in many ways of being put through so much in your life and feeling so defeated, and also feeling like you're never going to have your person. And then, I mean, just finally you get to the last book and it's like, my girl is so strong. And Manon and the 13, and I could actually just start crying right now talking about it, because like, I don't know, it's just so good. The storylines, the way you connect with them, and you feel so many, like, you feel that connection, you feel like you're a part of it, and they're just phenomenal. And it's just so good. It's, I think, my favorite fantasy romance. I got my grandpa to read that. He started reading ACOTAR at first because he got confused, and he comes out of his room when I'm seeing him one time. He goes, "So what are you having me read? Because listen," and he's like, "It's okay a little bit," and I was like, "Papa, no." I was like, "You are not supposed to read those words." I was like, "You need to read Throne of Glass," because really, I mean, not until the end, and it's still minimal. And Rowan, I could just want to hug them. And other, it's just, I mean, wow. And then even like, okay, so actually, like Tower of Dawn and Empire of Storm, reading those together, and those are not in order now that I'm looking at that. The tandem read actually helped me get through Tower of Dawn. Because what is it? Chale? I don't fucking care about it. I will never say half of the names correctly. I don't care how many times I hear their pronunciation. I don't hate him, but I don't love him. Anyways, Dorian and my girl Manon. Okay, I need to calm down. Anyways, those books just are so incredible. The storytelling, the details, the characters, all of it is phenomenal. I mean, like, I don't have any other way to put it. And I could go into detail, but like I said, I'm trying not to give spoilers, and I've already been yapping for God knows how fucking long. And this isn't even, this is like maybe an eighth of the books I read. And so anyways, I've read a lot, but it has been actually, it's been 2 years since I've picked up a book. But you can, I mean, clearly fucking tell I still enjoy this shit. Like, it's so hard. So I was reading, my dad got better. I got out of that. I had good friends. I actually was like, wow, like, I got a good job. I have good friends. I'm feeling good, you know. And then I watched my mother-in-law pass away and take her last breath. And I don't know why or what, but that, I mean, if I can shut me down, I could not pick up a book. And there was a couple times when my dad was sick where I'd start to pick up a book. And there was this like wildflower one, what's it called? Something wildflowers. And it talked about her dad dying of cancer. And I was like, I cannot read about a parent being sick right now, even if you don't like the fucking parent, because if one more book mentions their dad dying, I'm going to lose my mind, because I don't want to think about my dad dying. And that's all I can think about right now. And then I'm reading about it. And then it's all I can think about while I'm reading. And reading is supposed to not let me think about it. So anyways, my dad got better, whatever. I started having, like, my uncle died, but I don't really give a fuck about him. And then someone else died. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that does suck. Like, that one was kind of sad. And then my mother-in-law started getting sick. And, okay, I should do a podcast on my mother-in-law. Maybe I'll have my husband there for that. I should do a podcast of Sybil Kelly, Patricia.Braham Kelly, if you know her. She's a very well-known woman sometimes. I'm like, God damn, you know these people? Candace King knows her. No, not Candace King. Oh my God. What's her fucking name? Candace. She was what's her face in fucking, oh God. Oh, not Candace King. She was in Vampire Diaries. Candace, is it Candace Owens? Is that it? No. Oh God, no. See, I'm not good with names. Not Candace Owens. I'm like, yuck. Not Candace Owens. That's awkward. Fucking. Oh, is it Candace Cameron? Is that who it is? Yeah, she like knows her because they had boyfriends at the time that were on hockey teams that were whatever. Granted, she's also some people. Full House. Thank you. Yes. Anyways, so like she has just had these weird connections, but she started not feeling good. But she's been someone who, especially over the last couple of years of her life, was like constantly like, I'm dying, I'm getting the surgery, I'm getting the surgery revised, I'm getting this, I'm getting that, I'm dying, but I'm not dying, but I am dying, but then this surgery, I need it reversed because, and it was just a lot of like, girl, what are you doing? So she started like having these issues, and we were just kind of like, okay, yeah, whatever, like, you know, do what you got to do, like, what is it? Not hypochondriac, a little bit. Like Munchausen's low key, like it's very similar to that. And then I'm just lore dropping right now because yeah, goddamn. And so whatever, you know, that happened like start of September, October-ish. And then like around Thanksgiving, it was like she had to be like lifted out of bed to sit up and eat and couldn't walk or this. And we're like, dude, what? Like, what are you talking about? And then as I got towards December, she was like having memory issues, and we're just like, what's going on? Like she's just supposed to have like Guillain-Barré, and like it was supposed to be something where she just needs physical therapy, but then she's not doing physical therapy, but she's also had done a lot to her body. She traveled a lot, she got a million different surgeries, and she drank a lot. And I have my theories. They didn't want to do an autopsy, which is up to, you know, her husband, and even though I'm curious, obviously that's not up to me. But anyways, so I should do an in-depth story time about my mother-in-law, especially also how she passed, because I feel like it could also help some people because it happened really fast. It was like she was pretty much fine, just being a little kind of, she also was just an interesting person. And then, so sometimes she also, this is not meant to be bad, but she did lie a lot. So, you know, there were just times where you're just like, okay, are you doing this? Also, this is so bad. It's so bad. It's a whole thing. But anyways, it was just like one day, my father-in-law came over and was like, you guys should come see her, because we had it, because she was supposed to be fine. She was supposed to get the physical therapy, and we called her and she would call us, and it would be like, okay, like, you know, and then we're like, what? Like literally just that week I had called and talked with her, and it was fairly normal. And so I thought she was getting better. And then 3 days later, I'm getting ready to go into work. And then I get the text that he's like, get to the hospital now. And I wake up Nick. He leaves within 30 seconds. Like that man was out the fucking door. I call my dad. He comes over. We get in the car with the kids. He takes the kids to his house, drops me off at the hospital. I run up. I'm like, great, she's gone. No, she wasn't yet, actually. I think her soul knew to wait for everyone to get there because it's insane. I will do a story time. And anyways, so yeah, and then I saw her take her last breath, and then after that, for some reason, I have really struggled to pick up a book. I have really struggled, and I don't know, it's just weird because I want to, and I think rereading actually is going to help me once again, just kind of get that oomph. But like then, you know, she passed, and then obviously it was insane after that. Like I remember everything, but I remember nothing, and then we moved into a new house because of her. I mean, pretty much. And then this job, and then this job on top of the other job, and on top of being mom, and then now just focusing on this job. And then so all these things were happening where like I didn't have that much time actually like I used to. And yeah, it was really, really hard after she passed. And then yeah, so I'm hoping rereading ACOTAR, which is one of my favorites, because I'll reread ACOTAR, Crescent City, and then I'll do my reread of Throne of Glass. And I think that'll really pop me back into it. And then even just talking about all of these, I'm like, oh, like I should reread the Mindfuck series. I need to reread all of these, Gothicana, like Devil's Night, all of it. So I'm really hoping that talking about this and doing more of this stuff maybe encourages some of you guys to find another hobby. Obviously, I have a lot of hobbies. And I think it's important to know that they can come in phases, because after my mother-in-law passed away, I actually got into sourdough, which I still have my starter. And well, I restarted it, but I'm still doing my starter and my sourdough. And I baked and cooked so much, because I think one of my things was after she died, I could not focus on something for a long period of time, or then my mind would like just start kind of like, I needed it to be like, focus quick, like something easy peasy, like I can do for a couple minutes, go do another thing. Like I got to keep moving almost and keep my mind moving on different things, so it doesn't just pause and think about these things, because for the longest I was just seeing her face. And there's things even triggering talking about this, and then talking about old friendships that I had with like that are family. Oh, I'm getting triggered. Anyways, so like then I started doing all of that, and so that was the hobby for a while, and then I moved, and then my starter died, and then I got into the jewelry jars and back into crystals, which I was into crystals before I was reading, and then I got, so it was just like, I think it's okay to have hobbies also at certain parts of your life that make sense, and reading is always going to hold a special place in my heart, and I know I will get back into it when I do. I'm being patient with myself. I also was never not able to watch movies or even TV shows because I'd be sitting down for a long period of time. Like, it was really bad. Like, it was really bad. I had a lot of therapy. And because, it was really bad for a while. And I have OCDs, and it's just, I have all these issues. But so I'm finally getting back into watching TV. I'm watching movies more again. And I did pick up One Night Seduction and started reading that a couple weeks ago. So it's been like slowly coming back. And I want to say, like, if you're in a slump from whatever hobby you're in, it's okay. And it's normal to get in slumps. And I think it's healthy, because it doesn't then, like, I never want to get just like tired of it. What's the word? What's the word I'm thinking of? Not overwhelmed. What's the fucking word I'm trying to think of? Burnt out. I don't want to get burnt out. So even like, that's why I've been adding more different content than just the jewelry jars, because what started as a hobby was starting to get burnt out because it just felt like work. And then I'm like, okay, I did this because I was enjoying it. But now I'm like, okay, I need to add other things so I can still make sure I'm enjoying that, while still also showing you guys more of my life and like all the other things that I do and stuff and the hobbies that I have. But you don't want to get burnt out. And I think that's important, to give yourself grace. And that's okay. Because you're still a book girly, you're still a rock girly, you're still a whatever girly, guy, they, them, whoever you are, by the way, we don't discriminate. You're still valid in those things, and, it happens, and I think it's normal, and I do think it's healthy, because in that way, eventually that outlet will find you again. And now, especially with Sarah J. Maas coming out with 6 and 7. Six? I need to stop. I'm a fucking child. I'm just kidding. I have my kids. They won't shut up. The speed limit here is 65, by the way. So whatever. I'm on the freeway with the kids. And Ricky goes, Mom! And I'm like, what? I'm driving! And he goes, look at how fast you're going. And I look and he goes, 6, 7, because I was going 67 miles per hour. On my license plate, there is a 6 and a 7. I'm not telling you where. But he fucking 6-7 to me with my license plate months ago. I was like, oh my God. Anyways, I hope that this podcast was enjoyable for everyone, especially my book girlies, because I could talk about this shit for hours. Like, I was at a birthday party yesterday, and one of the wives of one of Nick's coworkers that I finally got to meet, she reads, and I'm like, absolutely. I love it. I love it so much. So I'm excited to get back into it, but I'm giving myself grace, of course. Because I got a lot going on, but I've been doing this thing where right now I'm forcing myself to, once Nick is off work, or if he's off, then at like a specific amount of certain times. And this is also where then I'm like, ooh, I should be filming my podcast, but I'm trying to also like give myself time to do my own thing. Usually around after dinner time, I'm like, you're not working, you're not like cleaning. Oh God, it's trash day and I need to bring out the trash. That's different. But like, you're going to do what's going to fill your cup. Read, watch Grey's Anatomy, eat, nap, whatever you need to do. And I've been doing that, and it's been really, really helpful. And I think it's important. So I've been doing that, and maybe, I think I'll be able to implement reading very, very soon, because I'm making schedules, which is good, because for a while I was just so focused on work, and I'm still really, really focused for so many reasons, but I'm trying to make sure, once again, I'm not getting burnt out, because I want my work to also be fun and enjoyable. But yeah, anyways, that's my little book podcast. I'm sure there's a million more books I could love to talk about, especially in here, but like I said, I think this bitch is dead. Low battery. Yep. So anyways, I'm going to go charge this because then I can keep that in my room. I can come out here. And these chairs are comfy as fuck, by the way. I love these chairs. Bertha, what's your favorite book? Bertha doesn't know how to read. Anyways, I love you guys. I am so excited for everything coming. If you didn't see, I have a makeup palette out. It may be out of stock. I'm hoping it's out of stock by the time I post this. The frick, if it's not, it's literally like so close. Like, y'all, come on. Sell it all so I can make some more and some new ones. But obviously, lots of things are going on all of my other socials, and I have lots of things going on in life. I'm getting really close to merch. Maybe I'll have it out by the time this is up. Lots of really good fun things, and I can't believe I'm where I'm at in life. And I'm hoping, to start doing some more podcasts and YouTube videos because I do love these. I'm just like, sometimes I'm like, it helps now that I have a second phone because I have, like I said, right now, this is my 5th thing I have on my phone right now saved for YouTube. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah. And I'm not running out of space. And I can use this for when my brain's not working. And so that's being very nice and helpful. I finally just did it. And yeah, I love you guys, and I still can't believe this. And I love sharing these things with you guys and maybe dropping some lore where you're like, oh, I kind of relate to that. So I'll see you guys next time I do my podcast, which hopefully I am doing it weekly. But you know me. I'll do it when I can, I promise. I love you guys so much. Cheers. And if you haven't tried the cherry Red Bull, they fucking cooked with this shit. It's my favorite. Mwah.